Let's go.
All right, this is the Nick Vertucci Show. I am Nick Vertucci. I am here with my co-host and life partner, Valerie Brill. And we're back. We're back. We have stayed together. We have not broken up for the fourth time. So far.
We also have a new intro.
We have a new intro.
Shout out to Raver for that dope ass intro.
Yeah, that's really good. Bring your motherfucking receipt and show us so we could support you. If not, shut the fuck up. Come out hot, if I can ask you about Jacob.
We had an inappropriately close friendship.
Okay, I'm going to press you.
The casinos cheat.
They cheat how?
What's up, guys?
You're right, you're wrong, you're right. What am I going to put on a pair of glasses and a nose and walk in?
Telling everybody I'm the best.
I can't hunt. That would look bad.
The mental anguish.
This is what my plan was from the beginning, is that nobody remembers her name. We waited.
I mean, he could have just like literally turned on any one of our shows for 5 minutes and found ridiculous clips of you doing ridiculous things.
Yeah, it wasn't probably that hard
That
of a
was
task.
an easy job, Raver. We all know it shouldn't have taken 4 months. That's a 5-minute job.
Hey, I'll take a
sorry,
5-minute
Raver,
job.
I'm
Don't
just
worry about it.
kidding.
Yeah, 5-minute job that took 6 months.
No,
for him
it
to
didn't
make.
take.
No.
What are you doing to me? What do you? I just did that.
What's wrong with you? You know, they say women menstruate together and they take on their characteristics, so maybe that's what's happening, right?
Well, you know, like I know you do that thing, and I've just become accustomed to it.
That thing?
The thing. He's tried everything, folks. We used to make him take allergy pills. We made him like, what was that thing you used to squirt into your nose?
Oh my God.
The neti pot?
Yeah, or used to follow me into the bathroom to watch me do it and then drag me because I used to gag and like spit out.
Because it goes into your sinuses, back out like a...
I'm like, yeah, but it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. And then our audience notices it. Ron B4115 says, "Are you sure you're not allergic to cats, Nick?" And then Thomas Richardson says, "Nick has Tourette's syndrome, which causes his coughing tick."
I'm allergic to stupidity.
Yeah, no, but this is just a thing. I think you have allergies that you don't know about.
How can I not know about them? What does that mean? What are you talking about? I've had allergies my whole life. I'm allergic. I've had the scratch test. I'm allergic to every single pollen out there. Okay. I'm allergic to spicy food, which I won't give up.
Yeah.
And after I eat, it gets worse.
So if you just stopped eating and just
or
stopped
breathing.
existing.
Yeah, if I stop breathing, I'm going to be fine. It's just
sounds
the way it
like
is.
a win-win for all of us.
Hey, listen, I'm good at everything. I'm just not good at allergies.
So we've determined that Nick has severe allergies. I really thought you were dying for a while, and then you haven't died.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just sticking with the show.
You're not the only one waiting.
Why are you so obsessed with lions, by the way?
Because I'm the king of the jungle. I don't know.
I don't know why. The king of the jungle has severe allergies, and he can
they're
barely
lazy,
breathe.
They're lazy, and the female lions do all the hunting and cooking. Is that good for you? Because that is true. And every once in a while you eat a kid if it's not yours.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they do that. Male lions will come in and they take over the pride, and
they'll eat all the kids, and then they'll make their
males, because they don't want any male, the other genes going into the pride. They want theirs to. So yeah, it's
I thought they got. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I thought they got rid of all the kids, and then they procreated with all the women.
They'll keep the women
because then they can.
Yeah,
because
it's more. There's more of them. Yeah, that's kind of gross.
It's all about humping.
When they grow up, then they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to do that, or
no? I don't want to.
You're too lazy to do that.
Well, no, I don't know. That seems pretty convenient.
You'd be
that seems pretty convenient.
You'd be fist pumping the dudes and be like, "Yo, bro, like, cool. I'm not fighting you, but it's my turn."
Yeah. That is a better plan, right?
Right.
I don't want to fight for the whole thing and maybe not win.
Right.
Yeah. Make a deal.
You for sure
make a deal
win.
and split it up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. What else is going on with you? By the way, we're deciding if we want to make an announcement. We're not going to talk about it now, but if you hang in there.
I think we should talk about it.
Okay.
We told everyone that we would talk about things and be open and honest, and like if we're upset at each other, we would be
I agree.
Transparent
That's helped
about
us
it.
actually.
It's helped us because I think we would have broken up like the last time we recorded. You irritated me a few times.
The last time we recorded? Oh, yeah, I remember. When
but then I just say it, and then we're okay. It's like therapy.
Yeah, I saw that happen 2 times. I don't know.
You know what would make me feel?
I didn't.
It would make me feel so good if I could just punch you, but I'm
Where,
not going
though?
to. In the eye.
Right in the eye?
So you'd have to just walk around with a black eye, and then it would just be, everyone would be like, we all know who did that to you.
Do the pod with a raw steak on my eye? A bag of peas?
I do not condone violence. I'm totally kidding for all of you out there
You're
who are
so
going to
full
be
of
triggered.
Listen, I guarantee you if there's one person I know that would like to throw a fucking right hook at a few people and probably be fine with it, it'd be you. You can talk about all that feminism stuff or all that passive stuff or no violence, but at the end of the day, you're a G.
Listen, I'm not going to not defend myself.
No,
you know,
we're talking
if I
about,
have to.
No, we're talking about a proactive sock in the mush.
No, I don't know if I mean, some people, I feel like deserve it.
That's what I mean.
But I'm not a big fan of violence. But
Okay.
I will defend myself. I'm not going to go down without a fight. How's that?
Okay, no, well, I think that's
I'm
fair.
too fucking old.
That's human nature, though.
I prefer to just,
Fight or
I'm a
flight.
lover, not a fighter.
Well, you are now. You went on a fucking long drought.
I did have a very long drought.
Yeah.
But the drought
Now
is
you're
over.
a flowing river. Right? Now you're breaking hips and taking names.
I mean, my boyfriend might agree with that.
Yeah, he might.
People are going to be it's so cringe. It's so cringe. I'm really aware of how cringe this is all coming
It's very
across.
cringe. Matter of fact, you've lost your edge since you've been getting laid.
I know.
You really
I
have. You used
know.
to be the angry Pollock. Now you're the happy-go-lucky Pollock. It's not
Yeah,
really
now I'm the
becoming.
peaceful Pollock.
Yeah, peaceful Pollock doesn't work.
Should I change my Twitter?
Yeah, do peaceful Pollock for a while.
Oh, God. No, that
All
sounds
right.
horrible.
So listen.
What's the big announcement?
The big announcement is there is a possibility that we're in negotiations. There's been a lot of asks and wants and demands by both parties. But we may be doing a Mike Postle V1 interview with you and him and possibly me as the moderator, although we'll talk about why that works and doesn't work. We are trying to get, I'll just say it, we're trying to get like someone like Doug Polk to actually do the moderating. But I have not run that by Mike yet, which I will do that. He might not agree to it.
Of course he's not going to agree to it.
Well, again, but my whole thing, if we did this, would be to just make sure that no one yells over each other and that everyone's protected and like all that, because I know the emotions will be crazy. I don't know enough about the hands and all this stuff to do it justice. So that's why I think it would be appropriate to have somebody else in just for that. And again, I have not ran that by Postle. Hey there, Salem boy. But we'll see if we could get it together. I mean, this isn't going to be an easy task if it happens. And I know there's a lot of things that you're concerned about.
Yeah, so there's two big things. One being the moderation first. I don't think it's fair for me to be the one holding the interview on your show. And I know, and you've said this publicly, so I'm not like attacking you when I say this. I know you haven't looked into the whole situation.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's not fair for me to be sitting on the Nick Vertucci show and to be the sole interviewer on your show when you should be a part of the interview if it's on your show.
What if I took the next 3 weeks, which I don't know if I can because there's a lot of things that I'm really busy with.
I don't think you understand how much, like, Joey Ingram was live streaming for 8 or 9 hours a day. Like, there's just so much. We've already solved this. So let me just finish. Let me finish my thought.
Yeah, okay.
So the other issue is, like, we've already solved that he cheated. We know he cheated. There's no good there's a few like stands out there for Mike Postle for sure, but the majority, I would say 95% of the poker community is in agreement that he did cheat. So there's like nothing at this point that will change anyone's mind if he comes into this interview and just tries to lie, which he will. Like, this isn't an interview, Nick, I need you to focus.
I'm sorry.
This isn't an interview of like him coming in and asking for redemption and asking for the community's forgiveness and saying, you know what, I did do this and I'm sorry. This is going to be him just doubling down on all his lies. So the story won't change. But the only reason he wants to come on your show with me, like he could go on Doug Polk's show, he could go on Matt Berkey's show, he could go interview with Joey Ingram. He would have like 200,000 views on that. But he doesn't want to do that because he thinks that I am the reason why he is no longer making money. I took away all of his opportunities. It's a personal thing for him.
Oh, I know.
He doesn't think that he cheated and he put himself in that situation. He just wants to blame me. So I think he's only coming here to stage a personal attack against me and try to make my story seem worse than it was, or first, whatever he's going to say. I already heard all of his troll accounts, everything they've said, the most ridiculous lies. And I just don't see that there will be a net positive from this because he'll just double down. In fact, just probably make things worse. And then we're going to give him a pedestal, we're going to give him a means to...
A platform.
A platform, thank you. My middle-aged woman brain. To then continue to spew this. And then he doesn't want to have any accountability for the hands. And he knows that no one's going to respect me if I try to break down the hands in front of him.
Okay. So a little bit to unpack here. All right. I get it. So I think, so for sure, Mike would come on here and he would probably refute everything you said. I'm assuming that would be his approach. I don't get the drift that he's going to come in here and do what you say and take accountability if he did in fact do something. And the reason I say it that way, and I know you always get mad at me, is I've never looked at one hand, so that's why I stay neutral. But I'm not taking a side on it. I'm just saying that he probably knows that, and that's probably a plus for him. And for whatever weird reason, he just trusts that I won't edit it. His main concern was that it would get edited to make him look bad. And I won't do that if I give my word.
I think that from my perspective, his main concern about editing is because he wants to spew lies about me and attack my character, which he has and his troll accounts have. And he doesn't want it edited for that reason.
Of course.
Because I'm like, why? If we allow all of our guests to edit the show, and we do, and I've talked about this before, if someone comes on the show and they call us and they're like, look, I really didn't want to say that, can you take it out? We will always take it out.
Yeah.
And we do that courtesy for everyone. We also have that courtesy for us. If you and I talk about something and we have in the past gotten into fights that we're like are not good for TV, we've removed that. So you can't say, as me as your co-host, be like, oh, we're not editing it because Mike Postle said not to. Because that's not fair to me either.
Right.
If he's going to blatantly lie about things just to make himself look better, to attack me, because there's no world where he thinks that he actually cheated. He knows he did, but do you know what I mean? It's this like
I
narcissist
understand what you're
perspective.
saying, yes.
So in his mind, the only reason that anyone thinks he's a cheater is because I outed him. But that's not the case. He would have been outed eventually, maybe a little bit longer. Everyone else was suspecting him. So, Mike, this is your responsibility. You're the one who caused this. It's not me. I was just the whistleblower. And then I told everyone everything that I knew.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm not advocating for this. I'm just telling you.
I just want to say that him attacking my character, which I know he will try to do, does not change the fact that he cheated.
Right. But, and again, I'm not advocating either way. I told you, if you don't want to do this, no matter how great it would be for the people to watch and it would break the internet, it's off.
So let me
right?
ask,
like it's off.
Yeah, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Because you just said that you haven't watched a single hand. Why do you want to have an interview with him?
Okay. I would want to have, if I'm being completely honest, I would want to have an interview with him because I think it would be extremely interesting.
But if you haven't shown any interest
but it still
in
would be interesting, and I might learn something too. And how about this? Okay, in fairness, if 200,000 people watch it, I would tell you that 175,000 people probably haven't looked at all the hands either. So in fairness to me, it still could be something that people want to see and hear and make their own judgment on, regardless of if they're as versed in it as you are, or Joey, or whoever. Right?
I would counter your point and say, I bet you if 200,000 people watched it, I bet you 150,000 of them watched at least half of the hands. There are not just Joey Ingram's streams where like tens of thousands of us watched for 8 hours during that time, but also lots of breakdowns, really easy to digest breakdowns of his hands. Plus, the very first video posted was one that I put together of the hands where I was like, I think something's going on here. Can some people take a look at this? Because no one believes me at Stones. I was about to say at Hustler. And I was getting a hard time getting traction on it.
Well, let me take another approach with you to your question about why I would want to do it. I host a podcast. You're my co-host. And I think it would be one of the most riveting and interesting things to do. And it's a huge get for someone who runs a show.
Did you read the Wired magazine article?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Well, I mean, I don't really know what I don't have a thing where I could say what I thought of it. It was just a bunch of information that, like, what are you asking me, like, what I thought about?
I'm asking you, like, after reading, because he gave a good highlight of everything. Like, after reading it, what did you think? Like, I don't have enough by reading that to have an opinion or think if he cheated or didn't cheat, because that wasn't that wasn't analyzing anything. That was just, it's like you said, Veronica, if he comes in, it's going to be he said, she said. It is. And so, like, anything that he says is he said, right? And I'm not going to take that as gospel. Yeah, I think that for that kind of, like, this is more of a Barbara Walters kind of situation where we're not going to be having a fun podcast talking shit. We're actually legitimately going to need to have a serious conversation. And I don't know. I feel like one of the main objectives should be that there would be a constructive conversation in that type of scenario.
That's my only role.
I don't think that the conversation will be constructive, especially given you've been communicating with him and he wants to do it. He doesn't want to go on Berkey's show, and he's obviously not reached out to Doug or Joey. Maybe he has that I don't know about.
I don't know.
He's not going to go like, hey, Phil Galfond, can we have a conversation on air so I can clear my name? Like, he's not going to do that. He knows he can't. Why did he get interviewed by Mike Matisow and force Mike Matisow to like softball him? Because he knows anyone who with a brain or anyone who's seen any of his hands knows he cheated. And there's nothing in the world, no storytelling about attacking my character because he's mad that I called him out, that will change that.
No, listen, let's say something we just said 10 different ways. He's not going to come in here, from what I feel in the vibe, and say anything but his side. It's going to be a he said. I do believe he will attack your character. I do believe that.
Why do you believe that?
I believe that because when I'm communicating with him, he wants to come and tell his side of the story, and he's not happy with you. And so I'm sure he's going to come in here. I'm assuming he's going to come in here and not be the nicest person to you.
Right, yeah. So I wasn't the one who was staring at my crotch the entire time. So Mike doesn't understand. Mike cheated. Whatever he says about Veronica doesn't change that he cheated.
Well, then here's what I'm saying to you. If we get in here and we have somebody that goes over the hands, let's say that happens. Let's say he agrees to that. Let's just for a minute. And it's still going to be a he said, she said, and he's still going to probably come at you, and you're probably going to go at him, and, you know, we're going to try to keep this
I'm not going to go at him. I already said everything I needed to say.
Well, how about this? I would put, if there was a line on that, I would probably put money on that you will lose your shit.
Well, yeah,
okay.
If someone is making up lies about me.
Well, if he comes in here and says a he said part and there are lies about you, I know you well enough to know you're going to get triggered.
Yeah. So why do you want that?
I don't. Okay. You're you're presenting it as I just want it. Let me just rephrase it.
Right.
I contacted you after I was contacted.
Right.
And I said, I was contacted. What do you think? And you and I went back and forth,
yeah.
And you also said this might be a good thing. It would break the internet.
I initially did not say that. I initially got pretty pissed.
And I said, and what did I say? I said, okay, it's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not pressing you like, oh, we got to do it. Like I'm worried about like getting views over you.
To clarify for the people, he's always told me we don't have to do any of it.
Yep.
If I say no, we're not doing it.
And it's off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
I think a lot of people will think that you're
no.
being a whore.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
and
I
trying
am
to
a
push
whore.
this.
But I appreciate you making that clear.
No, we know you're a
because
whore, yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate you making that clear because from the beginning I said that. But as we kept communicating and the dander lowered from you, you started considering that it might be a good thing, and we started discussing it.
Right. So I thought for a few days that it would be a good thing, and then I started thinking about like why he's doing it. What am I going to get out of it? Is it going to be constructive? And I feel now, after processing it in the fucking blender up here,
Sure.
I think that it won't be a constructive conversation, and all it is going to be is him having a platform to spew more lies and potentially get more people to side with him somehow, because there will be some people out there who, like you said, didn't see a single hand and potentially see this blonde middle-aged woman losing her shit because of all the stuff that she has already gone through with him, and then be like, oh, this poor guy. Like,
Of course.
oh, you know.
Yeah, that's always
So
a possibility. That's why it would be better if we did it. If you were, and again, to your defense, like I get this was very tough on you, but if you were able to keep your shit together and with someone else articulate all the facts versus the emotions and let him be the emotional one, I think it could work to your benefit.
I mean, it's like really there is no swaying or winning here. Like literally, it's just going to be a non-constructive yelling match. We've already proved that he cheated. You have to understand, him and his friends were saying that I wanted my son dead. This is the kind of shit that he was saying with his people.
This is one of the things that you told me, and and you're mentioning it now yourself, but this is one of the things you told me, and I told him that subject's off limits, and he agreed.
Right, but you have, for those of you who don't know, I had a son who passed away from cancer. There's no world where I wanted my son dead. It took me years of therapy to even talk about him. Mike Postle and his crew, I'm not saying Mike Postle directly said anything, but his people, his trolls that were trolling me for years and saying the worst shit, said that stuff. And
I understand that. And I could not even imagine
what I'm
that
saying is
myself.
that this is what he's capable of.
Right. And what I told, I agree. I understand. What I told Mike because of our conversation was I said, if we do this, because she's considering it, the subject of her, you brought it up today, but the subject of your son is off limits. It does not even come out of your mouth. And he said, okay. Now, with that said, I do agree with you that this probably isn't going to solve the issue or bring any conclusion to this.
Yeah.
I know that. But
are we doing it for just clicks then?
Well, I don't know, but I will be honest and say that anyone who got this interview who does a podcast or a show would consider this one of the biggest of all time.
Oh God! Don't fucking feed his ego.
I'm not feeding anything.
He's not
Let's
the biggest.
let's
guest.
decide.
He's the biggest cheater.
Dude, that's you interpreting what I said as he's a big get. What I'm saying is this situation between him and you and the poker community would be one of the most interesting talks and interviews, and it is a huge thing if it happened. Now, I will publicly say right now here on the show, if you want to say right now, it's off, it's off. But we can still marinate on it if you decide you still want to think about it.
I'm still marinating on it, but 80% it's off for me.
Oh, okay.
But
that's new to me.
I think like, yeah, because I was like a little leaning towards doing it before, and then I kept thinking about it. I've reached out to certain people, wanted to get their opinions, respectable people in the poker community. One person said you should do it. It sounds like a great opportunity.
Who?
Another, Doug's like, yeah, you should do it.
Yeah.
And then Berkey and Phil Galfond both told me I don't think you should do it. Because it's really, you're not going to get anything out of it besides you're going to get clicks. Both of them said you're going to get clicks.
Yeah.
But it's a huge negative.
And to be more clear, and I don't care about this. To be more clear, it was on. But now it's off. It never was. I was still thinking about it. You said, do it, get it, pin down a date. I'll be here. But that's okay that we're not now. I'm not saying you oh, I can't believe you changed your mind. I'm fine with it. But I actually pinned him down to where at the end of March we were doing it.
Yeah, and so were you flying him down here for it?
Well, no, he was flying himself down here.
Really?
Well, he never asked me to fly him down. He just said
Yeah,
he
'cause
wants to do it in person.
He owes me like almost $50K now. So did you ask him if he's going to bring $25K? If he brings $25K for me, because that's like half of what.
Why would you not want the whole 50? Or am I getting 25?
Well, there's no way he's going to have $50K.
Okay. Well, no. Of
I
course,
think
of
25K
course.
is a good. Mike, you bring 25K
course
in a
you know.
suitcase for me, and it's on, because I know you owe me money from the last judgment. So if
All right.
he brings 25K for part of my judgment, not all of it, part of it, I'll do it.
What if I give you 25K for the
No.
interview? I'm kidding. I would
No,
never. Are you
fuck
crazy?
that. I will
Fuck that.
never make him. I would never do that. Allow you to do that for him. I want to see it.
I would never give you 10 cents, let alone 25K. So,
I mean, you'd give me 10 cents.
yeah, yeah, of course.
Look
I
at
would.
this. That's worth 10
You're off
cents.
the market. You're
I
not
am
even
off
worth
the
3
market.
cents. All right. So, all right, let's drop that. If something changes,
Well, speaking of people who get aneurysms fighting with people,
yeah.
you and Garett
What about
on
him?
Spaces.
What the hell? What a transition this is.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Like you.
Have we not talked about this? I'm not even
No,
trolling.
we haven't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because the last time I remember you seriously on Spaces, you and Garett were having it, going at it. And this was after our Ryan show dropped.
That's right. Well, that's the reason it happened.
You got to roll your microphone a little closer so you can cough into the mic.
I have not
close.
coughed once. I went one time earlier, but I took a Zyrtec or whatever those.
Oh,
things are
good
called.
job.
Well,
That
I do every time.
That shit knocks me out like
yeah,
like a
sometimes
sleeping
it works.
pill.
Sometimes
I
it
have to take
doesn't.
Claritin because Zyrtec.
Yeah, I didn't use any fucking hot sauce today because on the Del Taco burrito, just in case. It's really
Shout out to Del Taco.
Yeah, shout out to Del Taco. It's, I'm really living in like a bondage to this allergy thing. I can't
I
eat
thought
hot
you were going to
sauce.
say to Garett.
Fuck Garett. No. So okay, all right.
So there
Wow,
was a
you
lot
just
of,
you caught me so off guard because you just went there.
There was a lot of like fighting on Spaces after our
Yeah.
podcast went live.
Yeah. So I kind of knew that something was going to break free because listen, Ryan Feldman has not really said much since Jack 4. Now, we had him on and you asked him a bunch of questions and that was going to be on the table. And to my surprise, even though I'm sure Garett thinks like he was, Ryan, I think he even tried to pitch that Ryan was like prompted by me. I mean, the guy is just, he just never stops. Ryan Feldman does not say anything he doesn't want to say. And he believe it or not, he's more stubborn than I am. But he hasn't said anything. And when you asked him those questions, my jaw dropped like as much as anyone because I'm like, oh my God, like I was proud of him because it's the truth. And to be fair to me, finally, he has said it and at least backed up what I've been saying so it just doesn't look like this personal thing between us. And I knew when he did that, of course I know Garett's going to watch it, and I know now that he is going to be enemy number 2 because I was enemy number 1, and he always kept this little thing with Ryan, and even Ryan when he went on, he made his big comeback and his $135,000 buy-in joke. Ryan even sent him a text and said, good luck. And actually, Ryan meant it. And Ryan said, the best, hey, good luck with your comeback. But Garett can't understand that somebody could mean that and still tell the truth. And I don't know if Garett has convinced himself or it's a narcissistic trait or it's just something that like he just can't stand for his image. But nothing Ryan said in that interview wasn't false. And I've been saying it for months. And the only reason anyone has ever said any of these things is because he just won't shut his mouth. Like he keeps digging in about our show being compromised and about this and making all these little like fucking stump speeches even on Spaces and all this stuff. And he's just still trying to keep this golden boy image and he's just not. And that's really, I think that's really, really affecting him because that was really important to him for many years to have that perception. And it's kind of been ruined, but not one thing I have said or Ryan has said has ever been an untruth to protect our show. I've always often said if he ever has any evidence or anything did happen, I would support him. I don't think I would apologize, but I would for sure, because what I'm doing is the truth, but I would definitely say, wow, you went through a lot of shit for something that was true. And I probably would give him that credit for being able, for him being right.
But wait. Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Garett, like you said, Garett's right. And then you would be like, oh man, you went through a lot. What would that mean though for Hustler? What would change for Hustler?
I don't think anything would change for Hustler. And here's why. I meant this when I said it, and Ryan said it in his interview, and he meant it. It would have been easier for us within the first month to have there to have been proof that there was cheating. We would have absorbed it. I believe wholeheartedly we would have got through it. If we didn't, we did in time. We can't go back and know. But then there's no more debate. And if there's no more debate, nobody has to pick sides. Nobody has to be mad if the other person thinks this or thinks that. I think it would be much easier. Not to mention, if there really was something that happened, I would still want it to come out, because I would think I actually want people to be accountable for shit they do. And if you're going to do that on my show and you're going to cause all of us this much grief, fuck you. Like, let's go ahead and let everyone know now 2 years later. I don't care. And I've said this before. I love Hustler. I love the show. But I live a really good life financially, family, and nothing does last forever. And when this ride is over, it's over. Whenever it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be.
I want to dive into your other endeavors, but I still feel like we haven't
go ahead.
Unearthed the spaces with you and Garett.
Oh, I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
You want to know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was this. All this just is like the.
And hopefully, Brian can put in a clip from that spaces. I think he has.
Sure. It's very. I kind of.
Everybody records the spaces.
Of course, I have the recording.
Oh,
want me to play?
Yeah.
You want me to play it?
Like, you don't even have to record a space.
You want me to play it?
Yeah, well, it's okay. But you don't have to even record a space because other people are
Of
recording
course,
the spaces.
Well, we know Matt is. He likes to record.
Oh God.
All right. I had to take one shot.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel good if you're not yourself.
I know. I love him. All right. So, okay. So, after the interview, everybody on Spaces was discussing what Ryan said, because now it's like, oh my God, Ryan said it, right? It's not just Nick, who says it and says everything. And so, so that was being discussed. So what's happened over the past months is this. Every once in a while in Spaces, you'll see his picture come up, Garett Adelstein, and he's in listening. Mm-hmm. Anytime he's in, whoever is the moderator or the host is like, come up. And they just can't, like, they just want him up so bad because he's like VIP, he's Garett, he's part of this, Garett. He doesn't speak, right, about it. So it'd be so cool if they want to hit their show to do it. Anyways, Ryan went on Spaces because I can't remember. Something was being said. He went on there and he goes, no. And he was talking about the interview. And he was telling the truth again. And Garett was probably DM'd. They call it, letter was put on his desk that they was being talked about. And he came in to like hear it. I guess he doesn't have a burner. I don't know. And he probably does, but whatever. And he came up. And what he did was he showed his colors. And that was the second Ryan Feldman told the truth, just like I had, he attacked him on Spaces. And how he attacks is he doesn't want anyone to respond to him. He doesn't want to go back and forth. He tells the people, I'm not going back and forth. This is just out of control. I'm not doing it. He just wants to give his speech. And he came up and he started dragging the shit out of Ryan. And now attacking his character like he attacked mine some weeks before about he doesn't trust me, I'm this, I'm a little man, I'm a piece of shit, whatever. Well, he did
called you a little man?
He said, you're just a little man.
Sorry.
I'm a little man who shits bigger than he is. So anyways, so no, all that, it was like really bad. He was like yelling over me, and at the time the co-host wouldn't let me speak because he was a Garett fan. It was some dickhead that I won't even mention his name. So it wasn't Eden. So anyways, so he's saying all this nasty things about Ryan, which was really pissing me off because, like, if anyone doesn't deserve it, it's Ryan. Like, Ryan has kept his mouth shut. He's not lying. And he's been better to Garett than I have as far as like sending texts. He's not being phony. He like really meant like good luck with your comeback. And so I didn't say anything. And everyone kept saying like after, how come you didn't jump in like right then? And the reason I didn't jump in was for two reasons. Number one is I knew that I wasn't going to be able to speak because Garett won't let you do that. He will talk over you because he doesn't want you to ask him anything or say anything. And number two is he was making an ass of himself. And I didn't want to get in the middle of that. And Ryan finally snapped, and while he was yelling at Ryan, and Ryan's like, "You're the one who fucking stole the $135,000, not me." And that made Garett even snap, and he even started saying crazier things. And then he didn't want to go back and forth. He just wanted to give his stump speech or his rant, and he disappeared. And that's when I came on, because he had already left, and went on a rant about what he just did. And that's what happened. I never got to really discuss with him anything because he won't do that. Even the last time, even before Ryan's interview, like he was on there and all he did was call me names and like PC Garrett's dead and all this stuff. And I kept saying, why don't you talk? And then I talk and you talk. And he didn't want to do that. He just wanted to give the stump speech, his political speech, and bounce. And that's what he does. So that's why that happened, since you asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to dive into what you're doing. First of all, I want to clear the air because I keep hearing Eden talk about you and Eden are business partners now. Is he your new boss? Is Eden my new boss? Like, what is this business part? Does Eden hold shares in Hustler Casino Live now? Is he the new owner? Do you and Ryan report to Eden?
Well, I wanted to tell you in person that you do work under Eden now.
Eden's writing the script.
Yeah.
Welcome to the circus.
Yeah, we're going to have a mariachi outfit on you soon.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been always wanting to
do you know how to do that?
Culturally appropriate.
Do you know how to do mariachi?
Actually, that would be really cool. I would love to learn how to like play an instrument in a mariachi band.
You would.
I totally would.
I could see it.
That music is fucking fire.
I get it.
When I first moved to the States and I moved to Texas, I was literally living on the border of Mexico. And for some reason, every time we had like a get together, people would hire a mariachi band. It was the fucking best. It was like every party had a mariachi band in it.
I got to tell you too. I have a friend I grew up with, which by the way, you're going to meet tonight. His name's Matt Beltran. And he's Mexican, and I grew up with him since I was like 7 years old. And every once in a while, I would go to one of his family things at one of his cousins, like once or twice. What a great vibe. They're outside in the backyard. They got the mariachi, all the food. They're like, honestly,
Food,
like
man.
what a great culture.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I really felt like it was awesome. Like I could sit here and just like really gel out with these people. They were just having fun, and they're very family oriented, and like Italians are. And so the mariachi thing, I'm not saying I literally like go to my phone and listen to mariachi, but in the moment, it's cool.
Yeah, we should just get a mariachi band to play some Italian music.
It's a pizza pie in your eye.
Yeah,
that's
but the
a
mariachi
mariachi.
version. Yeah, that's a mariachi.
There, it's a mariachi.
So tell me what's going on with Eden. Why is Eden announcing that you guys are going into business together?
Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can with this. Look, I'm going into business. This is out now. I'm going into a new business, and it's Hustler's still going to stay intact. Look at the fucking foot. And I'm still, can you get that? Sorry.
Can you get my face?
Yeah, squirrel. So anyways, which I'll tell you about in a second. Now, all right.
The squirrel?
No, the business. And so Hustler is intact. Everything's good. I'm still going to be playing poker, but I'm going to be extremely busy now and take on something that I actually kind of believe in, and I hope it works out how I think it will. Anyways, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. Now, the person that I'm going into business with, his name is Matt Ehrlich, E-R-L-I-C-H. I don't know. He's been in the poker. If you look him up, he's played poker for years at a very, very high level. You can look up his name and see all the poker stuff he's done. But he's also an entrepreneur, and he's created many businesses, probably 2 or 3 that he has like started and sold for multi-millions of dollars. The guy's very successful. Well, over time,
Sound like Trump. The guy's really successful. It's like millions of dollars. I swear that the guy, anybody who knows the guy knows that he's very successful.
It's true. China.
China.
China. It's true. It's true. It's true. All right. Is that how he dances? Hey, the white man shuffle.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, whatever. And so he goes by M on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I know.
M. And M likes to talk. He's always talking about everything. He's had some rough times in spaces. Has been in there, trying to whatever.
No, because it's not toxic at all.
Yeah.
Why would anyone have a rough time in spaces?
He's been a tremendous supporter of Hustler and myself, and he's often defended myself. We hate to say it, you may not like it, but we have a ton of the same ideologies, thoughts, processes, and everything else. So there's that, and he's become a friend. Now I know that he has taken a liking to Eden, and he has helped him. And he has helped him, I don't know if it is stay sober. He believes in some way that he's talented because, Eden is in some way talented.
Sober Eden is talented.
Is very talented.
But off the rails Eden is fun to watch for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, bad.
No, I know. So a little combination of that ain't bad. But anyways, with that said, I have no idea how Eden's involved in anything. And I don't mean that as a drag. I really don't know when M put it, like when he put it on Twitter and he also tagged Eden. I have no idea. So all I can speak on is what I'm doing.
I mean,
I literally have no idea. I'm not even fucking around.
It's just like Eden, because like when Daniel Negreanu dragged Eden last summer after the Stanley Cup, Eden then went on to say, oh yeah, 1v1, and yeah, that was a bit by Daniel. It's like, no, it wasn't a bit. He just dragged you for an hour, and then somehow he repurposed it. Eden repurposed it into something positive, and then
marketing.
Just was like,
yeah, his marketing.
I'm like, damn, this guy maybe is pretty good, but yeah.
He really is. Also, he's got a great radio voice.
Yeah, but do you ever think that you're maybe so far into a niche little audience of every time I go into spaces, it's pretty toxic for me. It's pretty toxic for a lot of women. It's mostly men, and it's the same people talking shit all the time.
Listen, it's toxic. Yes, everyone's talking the shit always constantly. I don't think people are harder on women than they are on men. I don't agree with that. I think that there's as many men that are having a hard time.
I've seen the men argue with each other. I'm just saying it's just not a great space for women.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think men and women are equal, so I don't see it that way. I couldn't resist. Whatever. I couldn't resist. God,
fucking guy.
I'm the liberal. Anyways, but with who cares? So it's toxic no matter who the fuck you are and what you identify
Right, but
as.
I'm saying women are less likely to go in there when it's a bunch of fucking immature, middle-aged men who have nothing to do but talk shit about each other the whole time.
95% of my viewers are men and poker. It's a poker. It's a poker. It's supposed to be a poker space, although it's not. It's a gossip space.
Here we are. Okay, well then, so what my question is do you
95% of our viewers and 76% are between 25 and 54 and make over six figures.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay.
So my question to you is, do you ever feel like you're diving into some of these projects with some really niche, small, little portions of the Twitter world or Twitter space? Because I will say that poker is in general is a small audience compared to the rest of the world. Others, I know it's not a sport. People get mad at me when I call it a sport, but other sports, other events are so much bigger than poker, and then you've got this niche of a niche audience.
Sure. So here's what Spaces is for me. It's my night chocolate entertainment.
Right.
Okay, I'm just telling you what it is for me.
But I'm just saying that doesn't mean it's a business endeavor.
No, this is not a business endeavor. This is where I met M.
Okay.
Okay. And it also is my ride up and back to Hustler. And I used to watch TMZ, so I'm down. Okay.
All right. Pirate Barry is my future ex-husband. Shout out to Pirate Barry.
Shout out to Pirate Barry. So I met M here, and we communicated, and he was very supportive of me. And
does he actually have money, or is he using you?
No. No.
I'm your mom right now.
No. M has sold one of his businesses. I don't think he cares because he said it a million
times.
times.
Does he Venmo you money when you send nudes?
No, I'm not on the payroll. But no, he sold one business for over $50 million on the front end and $10 million on the back end. He sold another business for whatever. He's doing very well. This is not about he unlike yourself, he likes me. And
yeah,
and
that's weird.
Might think I'm an asset in this, and I'll tell you why I think so. And so what it is, it's called the Home Run RUNN app. It's going to be an app, and what it is going to be like a home DoorDash in the sense that, like, it's going to be all AI generated, which is what all the investors want now when they're doing any kind of investing. See, it's very hard to stay focused with him because he's so cute.
It's just like
he's a
literally
baby.
just like comes over
He's
and
so
shoves
cute.
his face into
I
mine.
know, because he's just
and then he shoves his ass into mine.
He's just such a
into my face.
Isn't that normally how it works? First they shove their face in your face, and then next it's their ass. Yeah. Anyways.
What the fuck are we talking?
Anyways.
So yes,
I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know if you want to hear it like this, and I got to say this first. But
before I say it, I just want to preface it is that I know that you know that we know that what's going on.
But even with that, I still want you to. I still got to say it this way
so
everyone understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah. But before I do that, I just want you to know that I feel your pain.
Yeah.
And I get the whole thing, but I just want you to know that I got to say it. And I'm going to say it like this.
And I want you to answer how you feel comfortable. All right.
But before you do,
will you just let me talk?
You won't even let yourself talk.
I can't help it. All right. So what it is, it's an app that's AI generated, which means you can communicate with it online, on the phone, on text, wherever, right? It's going to be completely AI generated, and it is an app that we're going to take nationwide, one city, one state, one city at a time, and let's say you need a handyman, or you need a full rehab, or you need a water heater replaced. Anything in your home, people have their biggest asset that everyone has is their home. And it's the number one thing that most people covet, have, and put a lot of money and time into. And so what this will be is you can go on there, and we're going to have a list of contractors and handymen. And you might, if maybe we'll be delivering Christmas trees, putting up Christmas lights. Who knows what this can evolve into? But you can go on and say, I have a leak. And it'll say, where's your leak? Blah, 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 blah. And it'll have a handful or more of vetted, bonded, insured, legit contractors that will call, and you can contact, and that will give you a bid. And it will also tell you price ranges so you don't get fucked. And at the same time, you're working with someone that's, licensed and bonded. And so my role is going to be, because I have the real estate background and some people that I can build back onto my team that I used to have, is to build that end of the business with the contractors. The customer service side of it when I'm in business is always something I do, and then marketing. So that will be like the concept. And so I bought into the company, and will own a certain amount of the company, and who cares what my title is? I'm not going to say it because all that stuff's douchey to me. I'm just looking to crush this thing. I don't care what I am. And I'm going to take a poke at it. It may work, it may not, but I think it's a great idea. Also, if you put in everything about your home, it will do a profile on you and will actually notify you when it's time to check your water heater, or when it's time to do this, or when you should be checking your vents. And so the AI will actually communicate with you before something breaks down to have it checked.
So it's an AI Angie's List?
It's funny you mentioned that. So Angie's List is that concept, but Angie's List, believe it or not, is one of the most, and not dragging it, one of the most antiquated type of things for this that just didn't take off the way it should because it didn't have the technology behind it. And this is going to be much, much more and much different. But to your point, that would be kind of the concept.
Let's just hope that it can find something wrong with your house better than it can code, because it codes terribly.
What codes terribly?
Any large language model, any AI.
Well, here's who we have on our team that also owns part of the company, and was gifted this because of their genius. There are two or four or three, I don't know. I only know one of them personally, students at MIT, geniuses, that have and are putting this together. I don't know code. I don't know analytics. I can't speak on it, but I know that I've seen the prototype, and it's pretty fucking amazing.
I hope it's great. I mean, I'm not saying that. I don't like thinking about technology as a stagnant thing, because technology always first introduced is shitty, and people are like, oh, this sucks. Oh, this is going to die. Oh, no, no. And some of it does die, and some of it exponentially improves over years.
Sure. And what we feel good about is we have the top people at MIT on our team.
I mean, that must cost a lot of money. I just think...
What costs a lot of money?
MIT...
No.
Okay.
No.
And large language models, I mean, this is $1 billion endeavor by Microsoft, by ChatGPT folks. Like, it is... I'm not quite sure what you guys are doing. I know there's a lot of open source, open AI type of bots. Mm-hmm. Most of them are not good right now. If you guys can fine tune it to something good, that's great.
Sure.
It just sounds like a huge endeavor.
It is a huge endeavor. And one of the things, any like VC deals these days, anyone who's anyone only wants to put money in AI projects. And so the good thing that we have going for us in this is the capital that's going to be raised is going to be pretty sick, which is going to value the company very high. So the stock is going to be worth a lot immediately. Yeah. So
anytime I've asked it to do some like pretty basic code, it's like pretty shitty. It's pretty, but I mean, it can do like, you know, it can do small portions of code. Okay. It can convert data and stuff, but it hasn't been particularly good.
Where? I'm saying where? What models have been out there that weren't good?
ChatGPT. I have like a
ChatGPT. What is that? Just so I know what it is. I'm actually asking.
You don't know what ChatGPT is? You're literally talking about using an AI, and ChatGPT is like the biggest AI out there right now.
Well, guess what? Let me explain something to you. Part of being an entrepreneur isn't that you know how AI works when you're in a business with AI. That's why we have some of the best AI people, and that we have the best real estate people, and we also have some people coming in that can raise millions upon millions of dollars. So even when I ran a lot of my companies, couldn't get into my own CRM because I'm not technical. But what I did know how to do is I knew how to market the company, I knew how to message the company, and I knew how to make a lot of money.
Yeah, marketing the company will be fine if you want to market the company. It's just that it's just got to work. That's all.
Well, that's like, but isn't that like any business?
Of course,
it has to work.
It's also hard with technology. You initially launch something, and then if it doesn't work well, you lose that momentum, and then in a year or two, you make it work great. And then in a lot of people, you've lost a lot of opportunity. That is the unfortunate thing with new technology. And I just don't think AI right now is that great, but it will be great.
Well, I can't wait to find out.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it works out. It sounds like a cool project.
Yeah.
I just think that right now, AI, it like couldn't, I mean, it can barely do basic shit. It does good stuff.
What if, and this isn't the model, but
it's past the bar apparently.
Yeah. What if, and this isn't the model, it's going to be AI, but what if it was someone answering a phone? Still a good model, right?
Yeah. I mean, they have that right now.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, good luck to you. I'd be interested to see how it works.
Hey, listen, it won't be the first time I succeed, and it won't be the first time I failed.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Many, many. I have more failures than I do successes.
Now, speaking of failures, no, just kidding. What's going on? So I want a documentary update.
Sure.
Because I don't know if you guys know, Nick sends me clips of the documentary.
I do.
Looks really fucking good.
Yeah. And she's under tight wraps to not fire those out to anyone. And that's what
I fired them out to everyone I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
your version of keeping a secret is telling one person at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
If you Venmo me $50, I'll send you a clip.
Anyways, what's going on with the documentary is now it is picking up some really cool momentum. I've mentioned before, and I'll only do it quick, is that some months back, it was supposed to be out at the beginning of the year. I was shown the first 3-hour like version of it, like where the company came down and showed me, and
boring as fuck.
I wasn't happy.
Boring as fuck?
To me.
Like just very basic, superficial. Here's the game.
It was too focused on the $1 Million Game. That's all it was. And the $1 Million Game is the crescendo of the movie, the documentary. The $1 Million Game didn't start when we decided to do a $1 Million Game. It started when Ryan and I shook hands. And the journey is now what's going to be, and it's always going to have some of that, but we 180'd it completely, and now the stuff that I'm seeing and liaisoning with them more than I was before, the company that's producing it, it's fucking, you tell us, is it fucking, the clips are fucking amazing?
The clips are great. The only thing I haven't seen are like the shit with like you and Berkey going back and forth, like some of those arguments. I don't know if that's going to be included.
We'll see. But like you said earlier in the kitchen, I'm leaning into all aspects of this, right?
So I'll just be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was a period of time I thought 100% there was cheating.
Yep.
Right.
And we were broken up.
Mm-hmm. And I, I did my own data dive. And then my thoughts on everything have changed a lot in many points since this happened.
I'm just checking on it. The reason I'm checking that is because we have Rampage coming in, and I wanted to make sure we're on track. That's all. Yeah. All right.
So throughout many points of us like breaking up and like getting back together and stuff, I was like, they cheated. Then I was like, Nick and Ryan knew about the cheating stuff. And then I was like, no, Nick and Ryan had nothing to do with it. And then basically throughout everything, I feel like something would have come out by now. And I feel like you would have acted different. Just like from my own, I feel like I've been watching you and I've been watching Ryan, talking to Raver, like just hanging out, just watching the production crew. And like, I don't think there was cheating. I still think there was like a small chance, greater than zero, that something Robbie was doing with maybe Brian. But I don't think it was you. I don't think it was Ryan. I couldn't do this show if I thought it was you.
Of course. And I think what you told me at the time.
And I want to finish my point was that when they interviewed me, I was on a kind of like, I was pissed at you. We had broken up. And I like the fact that they included like, none of the movie is like, oh yeah, Nick's just a great guy. Like there was no cheating. It's like everybody's honest opinion. They even put my shit in where I was talking shit.
Yeah, you're talking shit.
Yeah. And so
I have to prove that too.
Yeah, I know. And I was just like, oh, I like that. Berkey's in there talking shit about you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you're really leaning into this. Makes the story good.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth. And back to your point, but I think you mentioned to me, tell me if this is accurate. At first, you didn't think so because you were, me and you were doing the show. You knew me, and then we fought, but that's irrelevant. I think what happened was you said you got hit with so many DMs and shells and so many things, it fucked you up a little bit. Like you just started going, oh fuck, maybe I'm not looking through a clear lens.
Right.
Right. And then you kept asking, right? And then you kept asking for people who were saying it to show you the hands, like show you some analytics. If we want to refresh your memory a little bit.
Well, yeah. So I went through every single hand she played in those 3 episodes. Yeah. So I watched every single one of them. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything nefarious happened besides maybe it appears as though something happened in like 4 or 5 hands in like maybe once in the second episode she played in, and then the other ones in the last episode. The first episode she plays totally different. So I thought maybe there was something going on, but there's not a big enough sample size, number one. Number two, she's in it was a Thursday game, right? And wasn't it Thursday? Because that's why Tuckman wasn't doing commentary. Yeah. And
that was in a clip you watched recently.
I think that the game was so big. Garett was such a big star. And there's a world where she's playing weird and kind of trying to get after him because she wants to beat him. She's got a bit of an ego herself. And I feel like she went in that game like, I want to beat Garett. Yeah. And Rip too. Rip was like, yeah, let's beat Garett. It seems like everybody's trying to beat Garett because he is obviously the GOAT. But that could have been it. So I'm not like, I think it's greater than 0 now that she was involved in something potentially, but I don't think so. Like there's never a 0 to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you.
But I know you and Ryan were not involved. I know Raver wasn't involved.
No.
I know that like none of the staff were involved, especially when you talk to the staff. Everyone's so fucking passionate about it. And I feel like, I hate saying this because everyone's going to be like, oh, well, you have to say it because you're with Nick. No, I legitimately would tell
about?
Nick if I
They know
fucking
you.
didn't think this, and I would quit the show.
Yeah, I know that. And everybody knows that. You've never yesed me.
No, I haven't.
No, okay. Everyone actually asked me why the fuck I would still do this show with you, and I said because she doesn't yes me. Everybody yeses
Yeah, I
me.
literally have never yesed
No,
you.
so
and you fucking hate it too. We used to butt heads about it, I think.
No, I don't hate not being yes. The reason you're here is, well, A, because I like you, you're witty, you're good on the mic, but the reason you're here is because you don't yes me, and it's boring when for a show if I am. The reason why I didn't like you is because of the way you went about some things is the same reason you didn't like me. Has nothing to do with disagreeing with me. Nothing. Because you still disagree with me on the regular, and we're fine.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, there's the throat.
See, the thing is, like, oh God, I can't give you credit ever because it never works out well for me or you, right? But I will say, like, with the show, you've been one person on any show that I've ever been in. You've been the one person who's like, say what you want, I don't care. Like, I've never like held back because I was like trying to spare you. I always just tell you what I'm thinking, and that's why we fight. But at least you know you're gonna get the truth out of me. And have
you ever seen me manipulate a guest?
No.
No. There's people out there that think I do. I don't.
I feel like people have this perception of you that you're trying. Yeah, that I don't know what it is, but a lot more scummy than you are. I think.
Yeah, it's true.
You just I can't figure you out. Like I don't know how to explain who you are to people.
Yeah.
But you do give me space to be myself,
Yeah.
which is the thing that I want the most.
I do know I have that perception. I might have that perception by the way I carry myself. I get that perception because of a handful of BBB stuff that's out there that people hang their hat on. That's bullshit. Probably polarizing personality. I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have the Ryan Feldman believability. I probably don't have, I don't straddle the lane like Joey. Like I'm just saying, like, and I like Joey, but I don't do that. So that's just how it is. But I don't think I would have it any other way. Plus, the truth is the first year and a half a Hustler, maybe the first year, I handled a lot of things wrong. And I think that was a lot of knocks against me out there in the poker world. But it is what it is. Now what you see for the last like 6 months or so, or right now, this is me. So if you don't like it, then you don't like me. But this is me. Like I'm now myself. I finally have fallen into that place.
You've been reborn. You came out of a new vagina. And now you're reborn.
Yeah, the Vagisil worked. So it worked. It just worked. And so, anyways, yeah. So I think that's what it is. But
I don't even know what to say to that.
But one of the things I was going to say is the good thing about, not the good thing about Jack 4, but one of the things that was the only thing relaxing about Jack 4 for me is I knew nothing was going to come out about me or Ryan. I know that because I know that I didn't do anything. I know he didn't. So it's like, like if you've ever even like, say you're in a relationship, you did something you shouldn't, or, you told a lie or something. When it's out there, you are always looking over your shoulder like, fuck, like, do they know? And like people who are guilty of stuff have guilty consciences and they act a certain way, right? Because they just feel because they know, and that's not the case. The one thing I could say is I've always been so relaxed. Like even when Garett says, oh, I have something, great. Tell me what it is. Dude, because I know one thing. It ain't me.
Listen.
Right? Dude,
listen, honey.
You listen, Linda.
When you say that, and if I could circle back, because we're in corporate, we're circling back.
Yeah.
To the Mike Postle thing.
Okay.
Mike Postle has had years and has been endlessly saying, wait until the information comes out. Wait until the information comes out. Where the fuck is it? Where's the information? Where's all this stuff that's going to give him redemption? There is nothing. He knows he cheated. So his only reason to come here is to just attack my character.
Would that be the parallel to the fact that if Garett really had something, wouldn't it have come out by now?
Right. And
Right.
it's been how many years
Like,
since Mike Postle
Stop
cheated?
trying to cover your
like
ass.
6 years.
Like, stop trying to cover your ass. Like,
Just go to accountant school,
Yeah.
fucking Mike, and just go get a normal job. Well, you can't probably because you're a degenerate. But like, I have
get it.
no respect for him.
Listen.
I have no
you're
love.
o-
There's
you're,
no.
You're
I have no
over
sympathy.
here doing your shtick, and I'm over here doing my shtick.
Yeah,
Like, well,
yeah.
if you got it, bring it out, Garrett. Like we have our, we
Yeah.
all have our bones, you know. Like, you
And
know,
no
because
wonder they
it
fucking
got
hate us.
personal. Like for me, it got personal. It's, you know, when you're trying to protect yourself and care about your image, but you're hurting other people and
Well,
the businesses you're trying to hurt.
What
you
if
know,
Garrett
fuck
came
it.
out and fucking attacked your family and your wife and told lies about you? Would you want to give him a platform?
Okay, listen, I'm going to answer it this way. I swear, I'll answer it this way. It depends. I see your point, but it depends. I might do it. I might not, but I am not. Let's put it this way. You not wanting to do it or give a platform makes total sense to me. And I told you this on the phone. I will respect you before I'm going to try to do something that will be good for the show.
Let me tell you something so everyone knows, because like I don't feel like you and I do a podcast together and we represent each other in this podcast, right?
Yeah.
But we don't represent each other's thoughts and feelings and stances on things, right? You have the right to disagree with me on many things, and we do. And you don't have to come into every space or Twitter argument and stuff and defend me, because that's just not ours. We're not one brain, one person. We're fucking not married. Like, we don't need that. Like, I don't feel that you should be obligated to defending me and every time someone in spaces fucking talks shit about me, and vice versa. Like, I'm like, sometimes you get into some weird fights and I'm like, why are you doing this with a guy with 18 followers? Anyway, in that sense, if you want to do this interview with him and have someone else interview him here and you moderate it, if it's Doug or I don't know if Doug would do it, or Berkey, or someone who actually can break down the hands without me, I'm fine with that too.
But you understand something, and I got so much to say about what you said a minute ago, though. But you do understand something, that even if I do the interview with him alone, or I do it, which I wouldn't do alone, I don't know enough about it. That wouldn't be fair to anybody, including him, you, or the poker community. But if I did it with somebody and him, you do still understand that he's going to do all those things and say those things that you're worried about.
Do you think
You do know that, right?
Listen, do you think
Listen.
that let's say you and Doug Poker doing it, hypothetical.
Yeah.
Doug, we'll just put Doug's picture like right here.
Okay.
Brian will do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you and Doug Poker interviewing Mike Postle.
Yeah.
Mike Postle starts to go, well, you know what? Veronica's a fucking whore. Veronica did this.
No.
What do you think you and Doug are going to do? Like, seriously, are we talking about Veronica, or are we talking about you cheating?
No, I'm
he
not.
He won't be able to get away with that.
I would not let him or anyone else come here and talk to you like that. I
Right,
wouldn't do
but
that.
I'm
I
saying
wouldn't let anyone take a guest and talk to them like that.
He won't be able to attack my character because I won't be here, and it'll be you and Doug. And
Okay.
Doug would be like, "What
Okay.
the fuck? Let's talk about the fucking hands."
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Let's talk.
I
And
got
then
that.
he'll have to be accountable, and he doesn't want to do
Well-
that. He wants to just come to attack
Okay.
my character because in his dumb little little peanut brain, he thinks that the only reason the poker community thinks there was cheating is because I persuaded them. Like, I have so much power. I'm like a god, obviously. Like, oh yes, whatever I tweet out,
Yeah.
all my simps will just believe.
Right.
So it's just the stupidest. Don't write me. I'm like, seriously, like, listen to me.
I swear on my kids, I'm listening to you. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking
Right.
of but I have a million things to say. Just look, dude. You can't fucking dictate
We're
how.
back, baby.
You can't fucking dictate how I listen
I
to
need
you.
you to respond to me a better
fucking
way,
Listen
no?
to you the way I feel like it. Oh my god.
My
that's
poor
so-
boyfriend. Can you imagine what I put him through?
I
I
can't.
actually don't.
Why?
I don't put him through because him and I, we've found a way to communicate, and we didn't communicate well when we were friends. And then when we started dating, we talked through a lot of like the ways we communicate, and now it's not perfect, but he, you know.
Give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So listen. Okay, fine. Well, and by the way, I'm glad you're happy. But no, I am.
You
I'm glad.
bitch.
No, fuck. It's just so much nicer. You fucking motherfucker. So.
Poor guy. Do you see how angry people got when I put out a tweet? Happy Valentine's Day to the man who pays my bills.
Oh, I didn't see.
They
Were
got
they
so
mad?
fucking
Did
mad. I thought you were a better woman than that.
Oh,
now you're a
geez.
gold digger.
Dude, you could put anything on Twitter and people will find a way to be negative. I still am amazed by some of the things I can't think of them right now, but like, how did you come up with that with this post? But whatever. God, there was so many things to unpack of what you said, but you were on a roll. And literally when I was saying, I was trying to remember what the fuck they were, and I can't now. So, like, I mean, whatever. I
We
can't
were
remember.
talking about you and Garett, and if Garett had come on. I
No,
like. Let's just backtrack and say that in no world do I think Garett and Mike Postle are like running in parallels here.
That wasn't
like
what
that
it
is
was
not
for me.
that is not the case.
Yeah, no.
Because Garett is
No. This I don't even know what you don't even have to
Yeah.
say that. No one thinks that we're talking about them together.
I know, but it kind of, someone out there is going to find some sort of edge to get mad at us for something in the comments.
Well, their comments are hysterical. They always do. One show they say it's the best show ever, and the next one they say we should fucking hang ourselves.
No, it seems like there's parallels in every single show. It's like, this is the best show ever. I love this show. I love that you're back, V. The next one's like, I fucking hate Veronica. Her voice is like nails on a chalkboard. This is the worst show ever. And I'm like, damn, like what?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
They're both watching.
Yeah, and they're both watching. Yeah. Thanks for the views.
Yep. And so, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but here's one thing I was gonna say. Okay, so one thing that's a little different for me that you said that I don't think is completely accurate is this for me, not for you. So if somebody is saying something that is like true, and I know it to be true, I'm not gonna go and defend you and lie for you, like you wouldn't for me. But what I will say is, if somebody is saying something about you and your character and who you are, or calling you a bitch, I will stick up for you, because how I look at it is, like, if somebody is my friend, like on Spaces, it's happened a million times. Like, nobody came to my defense when Garett was dragging the shit out of me. Everyone just stood silent. And I wouldn't have done that if it was somebody that I like, because I'm friends with some of those people in there, and I was pretty taken back by it. But no, there's been times where I won't even say his name because it's not worth it. Goes around and he just has a real thing for you. I won't put up with it. I go right on and say, you're a fucking lunatic. That is not who she is, and you don't have any right to say that. But now, if it was something that happened in the poker world and it was true, I'm not going to come out like you wouldn't me and just defend you. That's something that you did wrong.
Right, and I mean, like, that's different. I'm kind of saying, like, if I'm taking a stance about something and I'm getting into a Twitter debate with someone, you don't have any obligation to like side with me and take punches for me. You know what I mean? I just
no, I understand that. Like, I'll give you an example of something. I don't know if you know. I know you might, but I know. Okay, like you went on to a Twitter show and you were talking about the vaccine. Me and you have a different idea.
I know. Omar recorded it and went running to you.
Okay. I've never said,
and he loves you so much.
Have I said anything to you about it?
No, you
not
haven't.
one word. Is it the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you know.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, because people reached out to me and they're like,
okay, well, you've
Omar
never
did.
said you knew I knew. Okay, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? So my point is,
I just thought if he has a problem with it, he'll talk to me about it.
Point is when I first heard how you said it and I listened to it, this sounds really gay, but my feelings were hurt. That's okay. That's not your problem. But at the same time, we do differ in that area, and you do believe and think, in your opinion,
I don't believe. I just understand facts.
Okay, let's not get into that, because
I work with data. And I
it doesn't matter
facts.
what you work with data. Please, let's not get into that.
Okay.
All right, because then we will fight.
Okay. Like.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that right now. I was trying to make a point.
Okay.
Okay. That's my point is that we're different. It's what you said. I never said one word about it because, and you don't see any difference in my demeanor or anything. And you're right. If I wanted to bring it up, I would. And that's just how it is sometimes. And I don't think that caught me off guard because I wasn't there and it was me and everyone knows it's me that like might know it me. But with that said, you have the right to give that parallel or point you were making to somebody that like you work with somebody, in your opinion, you work with somebody that doesn't understand science and, thinks completely out of his mind, or something in Trump or this or that. And okay, like I probably wouldn't have done that, but if I did, I don't think it would have been the end of the world for me and for you. So I don't know how, I don't know.
But let's take the perspective of this 48-year-old grown man going into a space that wasn't recorded, that had nothing to do with poker, that had to do with science, and this guy basically debates science deniers all day long. That's his thing.
Who is?
So I jumped in. The guy who was hosting the spaces.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
So they were talking about vaccines. And so I went in, I talked to him. He follows me now. And so we had a quick talk. Think about this 48-year-old grown-ass man with no life who decides not to like me, decides to follow me into spaces that have nothing to do with poker, decides to record them with his own phone, and then go running to you like a 12-year-old.
Well, that's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying
that's a different point.
That is
the point is what we're talking about and what was said.
I agree, but that is also, this person is the biggest loser in the world.
Okay. That's
But if you went into a space and was like, my co-host believes in data and vaccines and I hate her for it and it's really frustrating.
I would not say it like that.
No, but I'm just exaggerating the opposite.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay.
It's the way you said it. It's okay. I'm just saying it's the way you said it. It was very belittling. You could still say something without making the other person or not trying to, but the other person look like an idiot. Right? Like how I would say it is this. I'm just saying, instead of saying it the way like, well, I understand data, he's doesn't understand shit, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know if I would be on this subject, but if I did, I would just say, yeah, I have a co-host who doesn't believe the same way I believe. She believes that the vaccine was completely vetted. Science says that it's great and whatever. And I feel this way. And, that's what makes the world go round, because there's as many people on the other side as there this side. I'm working with someone that thinks completely different. But to be honest with you, that's what makes us work. That's how I would say it. I probably... Look, there's no beef here.
You're probably right. I could have said it softer, but here's my take.
Yeah.
It is a bit insulting to me as a woman who works in healthcare data analytics. I work as a developer and I see the data, and you just adamantly choose to close your eyes to what I say when I literally work with the data.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, so I'll say it this way.
And it feels insulting to me because you're like, no, I just believe what I believe.
No, I'll say it this way because this is from my perspective. Okay, number one, when you say what you said, I'm intellectually lazy. That's insulting to me because I'm not intellectually lazy. Hold on. And the only time you and I decided to talk about that was one time on the phone, and we didn't like each other, and I couldn't get a word in. And you talked over me angrily about data and that I'm intellectually lazy and I didn't do anything. And every time I would try to tell you something that I know or that I've researched or that I've spent many hours and I have my beliefs, because I have my beliefs, you cut me off and said that I'm just intellectually lazy, and we started fighting and you got really mad at me. So what I did was, on that phone call, is I stopped talking about the subject, and I never brought the subject up again, which I don't even want to discuss or debate it here now because we'll never come to the same agreement. But that doesn't mean I'm intellectually lazy because I made a decision to back off in a conversation that was going really south. Is that fair? On its face?
That's fair.
Okay.
And I could have said the same thing better in that space.
That's cool.
So
yeah,
I apologize to you.
No.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
Because we're already here.
All right.
I apologize to you for the way I said it.
Fair.
I could have said it better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. And what you said you believe in, and I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, even if you feel I'm into
God, look at us.
Even
lost
that's
our
okay.
edge.
No, that's good.
Oh
we still
God,
we
look
still
at us.
fought. We still fought a
let's
little
just
bit.
break up.
We still fought a little bit. But even
we're going downhill. No one's ever gonna nominate us again for any award.
We'll talk about that. Okay?
We're never
we're
gonna
discuss that. But
God damn it, I'm throwing something at you.
It's not God's fault. We don't even believe in God. So listen. Listen, how could you use someone's name in vain? You'd think it's a fantasy.
I just apologize to you.
Your
What's
notes are
going
gone.
on with us?
Because you should have. But here's the thing.
It's because I'm getting laid.
Oh my God, guys! If you're an angry middle-aged woman, find some cock. All right, so listen. Please, because it works. Don't go, no medication, no therapy, just dick. That's what is going to work for you, because this is a living testament of someone that I don't recognize. But listen to me, Linda. Point is, and here's the beauty of it. Even if you think I'm intellectually lazy, I'm so confident in the fact that I'm not a fucking intellectually lazy loser that I don't care. And I don't care. But thank you for apologizing. I think that was cool. I think it's the right thing to do. And at the same time, next time you're in that space too, you could still say that you just think, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't care. Let me get your notes for you. Let me get that for you. This is
I think we're almost done because we've got.
We're not. We have so much.
Oh my God. I didn't even realize. I thought we were done. That's why I threw my notes at you.
No, how could we be done? We didn't talk about, hold on. This is the Rampage stuff.
Yeah, but Rampage is coming in like 15 minutes, right?
Whatever. Hold on. We didn't talk about the Vegas. We didn't talk about Super Bowl.
Okay.
We didn't talk about the WSOP.
Wait. You're wearing, this is Rampage notes. You're wearing the 49ers, the losers jersey. By the way, shout out to the 49ers because, I'm from the Bay Area.
Yeah. Do you have your notes?
Here. All I have is Rampage. You took all of my regular notes and gave me all the Rampage notes.
This is the kind of person I'm dealing with. You threw them on the floor. Okay? You psychopath.
Do you feel sorry for my boyfriend?
Yes,
Seriously?
this is what I have to deal with. If you guys didn't see it live or recorded that she threw it, the rumor is I took her notes. Okay? All right.
Okay, so...
All right, so the WSOP 2024 schedule is out. Listen.
Are you going to talk to me about the Super Bowl? You and Ryan went. Was it fun? You're wearing the jersey?
Yeah.
I just brought it up. Yeah. Okay. So moving on to the next topic.
It's about me. Yeah.
Next topic.
WSOP isn't about me. I don't play tournaments. Okay. So I went to. Who gives a shit about that schedule? I'm not gonna be there.
No one fucking cares at the World Series about the schedule.
They're gonna have a tournament for the champions, and it's gonna be a bounty, 5K.
What's this?
If you knock them out, you get a buy into the WPT. They're gonna have 700 tables. Fucking story ended. What?
So there's this main event, champs event. What is this? 1K.
It's a 5K buy-in, and if you knock out one of the people who's won the main event, you get a 10K buy-in. It's a bounty.
Do you know how fucking hard that is? Do you know how many people are going to be in that tournament?
No shit.
Oh my God.
Big fucking deal, right?
Fuck.
I know.
And I bet those people are getting in for free. Maybe. You know what? I can't talk out of my ass. I've played in tournaments that I got paid to play in.
Oh my God. Wow.
So seniors, 50 years, 5K buy-in.
What simp paid you to play anything?
Listen, Cleveland. I told you I'm a Cleveland 10.
That's right.
I told you I'm
That's because they all want to scissor you in Cleveland. They're all gay.
They do. Every single woman in there. Of
course they're going to tell you to come and tell you nice things.
What does that tell you about the male population when everyone turns gay? We're like, what's that fish that's in the tank by themselves that's pregnant right now? There's like a stingray that's in a fish tank that's in a fish.
The stingray's in a fish?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't believe in the Bible.
The stingray is in a fish tank, and there's like 3 male sharks in there, but the stingray doesn't have a male stingray, but it's pregnant, so they're trying to figure out maybe a shark impregnated it. What's my point?
That's kinky as fuck. Well, I don't know what your point is.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a point.
It was about the Idaho ladies.
Yeah, so the Idaho ladies all will impregnate me.
Yeah,
because they know that like the men in Cleveland.
You would be a peg punch board if they had their way.
Oh God, right? A peg punch board. I think they just. Oh yeah, because then you don't have to. Yeah. Right, anyway, we don't need to explain how that works.
Use your own imagination.
Oh, I started getting excited there.
I know. Look at you.
The Cleveland ladies, what's up?
Hey, listen, we had to stop the tape and start again. She slid right off the chair.
Oh my God. Okay, let's run through this.
Do you hate that your boyfriend thinks I'm funny?
Shut up. Don't bring that up.
Do you hate it?
Look.
Do you hate it? Yes or no?
I regret telling you that. I regret wholeheartedly telling you that.
He thinks I'm funny. Okay.
I made my boyfriend watch one of the. He doesn't watch. He doesn't care that I tweet or whatever I post. He doesn't care if I post thirst traps, but he's like not into all that. He's like super introverted, you know?
Yeah.
And I made him watch, and he's like, he's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
He's
I don't
right.
know why you don't like him. He's pretty funny. I'm like, what do you mean I don't like him? He's like, well, clearly it looks like you don't like him. I'm like, no, I kind of do. He's okay.
He's spot on. That guy.
Okay, let's get through this. We got Rampage.
We got too much. Should we save
we'll
it
do
for
it for the next episode.
The next episode, yeah. Let's stop here. I do want to get into the Ludahan recently. There's been some more controversy, and when we do our next show, so stand by for the next Nick and V show. We will talk about it.
The ace is getting cracked. Oh my God, that never happens.
This never happened ever.
I've never had my aces cracked by a shit hand.
I can't wait to talk about this.
Oh.
All right. So that's all we have for today. I think it's enough.
Everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry too for her. This is the Nick Vertucci Show. Of course, I am Nick Vertucci for myself and Valerie Brill, and V out.